Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley, and on here we like to talk about stuff like the law of attraction, positivity, manifestation, self-development, and overall just a high vibrational way of living. Now, today's video, I kind of want to spend some time talking about the concept of letting go and surrendering to the universe in order to allow your manifestations and your desires to come through. And I find that this is definitely something that a lot of us struggle with. It was definitely something that I struggled with for quite a long time, especially when I was first learning about the law of attraction. But over the past 10 years or so, I would say that I've definitely gotten a lot better at it. I've had a lot of practice, and it's probably the hardest part about manifesting. But once you get the hang of it kind of becomes second nature. It becomes a lot easier. The more you use it, the easier it becomes. It's almost like a muscle, except a muscle inside of your head. Now, I know a lot of you have probably heard of manifesting and the law of attraction through the movie or even the book, The Secret. And I find that there's a lot of explanation about asking, and there's also a large portion when it comes to receiving, but they often forget the middle that discusses trusting the universe. There's not a whole lot of information in there that gives us a clear breakdown of how we're supposed to do this. Oftentimes our thoughts get the better of us, and we tend to cling on to things that we have a hard time letting go of. And it's natural. It's second nature to us, because if we're trying to manifest something, it's probably because it means a lot to you. It means something to you. And you're going to probably have a little bit of a harder time letting go and surrendering it to the universe. So my goal in today's video is to kind of help you out, give you some tips on how to let go, how to release your desires to the universe, and to just trust the process. So most of us, like I said earlier, we've kind of gotten the idea of asking down. We ask intentionally. Sometimes we don't even realize that we're asking for things, but technically all of your thoughts, they're all requests. They're all asks. When there's something negative happening, you're subconsciously asking for the opposite of that to make the situation better. Now, what happens after you ask? Well, a lot of us, I find, we get stuck waiting for our manifestation to come true. And when that doesn't happen, or it doesn't happen fast enough, we're all kind of just left asking, where is it? Why isn't it here yet? We're wondering if we did something wrong, if we're missing something here, or there's tons of reasons why, but we basically start focusing on the fact that it is not here. So here I understand that the urge to ask and to wonder why your manifestation hasn't arrived is very strong at this point. You're kind of worrying. You probably have some questions about what's going on, but the key here is to remember that the universe doesn't need you to constantly be asking for the same thing over and over again. Asking once is enough. The universe hears you, it hears your energy. But the important thing here when you're asking is to make sure that you ask with intention, that you ask with clarity, and that you only ask once. The reason you should not keep asking over and over again, or that you should not start letting your mind get the best of you and wonder where your manifestation is because you are now focusing on the fact that you haven't gotten it. So you're no longer focusing on the desire itself. You're focusing on the fact that it's not here, which basically means you're focusing on the lack of it. So it's important to remember that the universe doesn't respond to words, it responds to energy, which is why it's so important to get into a high vibrational state. But by focusing on the lack of what you want, you're sending out a negative vibration. You're sending out a lacking vibration. And if that's what you're focusing on, the universe is just going to bring you more and more of that lack, which in turn creates a wider gap between you and your manifestation. Now, what you should be doing instead here is learning to let go of your desire. And I know this is a lot easier said than done. And by doing this, you're basically telling the universe that you don't need this. You'll be fine with or without it. It would obviously be a lot nicer, and it would be your preference to have what you're asking for. But ultimately, that no matter what happens, you're going to be fine with or without your manifestation. So here you're showing the universe that you trust that it's going to do what it's meant to do, and that it's going to come to you when you least expect it, and it's going to come to you at the right time. But the question obviously is, how do we do this? How do we train our mind to let go? So these are my steps for manifesting and letting go. This is what I personally do. Sometimes it takes a few tries to get used to doing this, especially when you have to kind of distract yourself. But this is basically my formula for manifestation. So like I said earlier, ask once, but make sure that you ask with clarity, with meaning, and make sure whether you ask vocally, in your prayer, through writing, however it is that you ask, make sure that you have a very clear intention on what it is that you want. The second step would be to have faith. And this is really, really important. I'm not saying you have to be religious or anything. Just have faith and trust that the universe has heard you, and that what you have asked for is already in the process of coming to you. Now, the third step would be to let go, but I find that letting go is a lot easier when you stop thinking about what you asked for. And the easiest way that I have found to distract myself and to let go of things that I really, really want is to focus on something else completely. It doesn't even have to be related to what you asked for. You just have to focus on something completely different. It's often easier if you do focus on stuff that makes you feel good, on stuff that makes you feel better, stuff that makes you laugh. And this ties into my other video on raising your vibrational frequency. I'll link it down below for you guys, or somewhere up here. But basically, to let go, it's a lot easier to distract yourself and to focus on something completely else, completely different. Something that will bring you happiness, something that will bring you joy, laughter. Just go do something else. Go have fun. Go enjoy your life, and know that the universe is working behind the scenes to bring you what you want. And I find that something that really, really helps would be to spend time with people that make you feel better. Go hang out with your friends, your family. Go hang out with your pets. You know, there's a whole bunch of things that you could do. And there's probably things that work better for you than they would work for me or anyone else watching this video. And once you get into that high vibrational state, try to stay there for as long as possible and just keep that momentum going. Whenever you catch yourself thinking about why the thing that you want is not here yet, or if you catch yourself thinking about something negative, you have to be mindful of your thoughts. This is probably one of the most disciplinarian things that you're going to have to do, is to be mindful of your thoughts. And when you catch yourself going down this rabbit hole, really start focusing on catching yourself and doing something else. Start thinking about other things. Be active. Go do something positive. Go do something fun. Go do something happy. And it takes a few tries. You might fail. You might struggle a little bit. But once you get used to it, it will pass, and you're going to start to see your manifestations come in quicker and quicker every time. So let me know what you guys think. Do you have any other tips about how to let go? How do you surrender? Some things that work for you might work for somebody else watching this video. So leave them in the comments below. And if you guys have any other video suggestions, any other topics you want me to cover, also leave them in the comments below. And I will see you guys in the next video.